Firstly, I want to preface this episode with I'm not here to bash anyone, and also I'm here to show you options. But let's sit down and think about this. Pretend, or you probably are, picture you are a business owner who needs to get a graphic out for your business. Graphics are one of the banes of your existence. You need to have a graphic apparently to post to social media. You want to have a graphic when you post to Facebook. You need to have a graphic when you post to Instagram to show off your particular event or your offer or your thing that you're doing for your business, right? And you are a busy business owner. You don't have time to be sitting down for hours inside Canva making up this graphic, let alone the brain space that's needed to think of everything that needs to be thought of to do a good job of that. So you jump into ChatGPT, give it a couple of prompts, tell it what you need, tell it what you're thinking of saying, and then bam, out it pops this beautiful graphic. You post that up and you get to move on with your life. It sounds like the dream, right? Unfortunately, there are a few nuances I want to share with you in this episode around the realities of using something like ChatGPT or whatever AI model that you're using to create graphics flat out blank for your business. Because what I actually think is that it's having a really negative effect on your business. Either one, you're not going to be able to tell yet, or two, is already impacting things. But again, it's really hard to tell and quantify. So I'm going to give you some anecdotal research I've done on this topic. Plus, I want to share with you some easy-ish alternatives so that you don't always have to resort to using AI to make your graphics for you, because I know why you're doing it. It's a lot, right? So I want to give you some tools that you can use to hopefully create really great graphics that are going to make sure people still stay with your business, but also aren't taking you forever. So let's dive on in. So hello, my name is Jacqui. If we have not met yet, pretty much I am a professional graphic designer, but I love and my specialty is teaching everyday business owners how they can create and show up with incredible graphics for their own business, right? Because I know the power of design. I've seen the power of design for 12 plus years now at work in businesses that take this stuff seriously, and I want to make sure you're able to do that for yourself too. Obviously, as a graphic designer, I need to just put this out there. I have a bias, okay? Because I've seen the power of good design and I'm seeing all of these AI images pop up, these AI flyers, I guess is what people are calling them. I don't like it. Just from a personal perspective, I need you to know that. But I'm trying to see this from a more broader perspective because I use AI to help me sometimes with writing things, because writing isn't a strong suit of mine like designing visuals is. And so I use AI as well to like streamline some of my systems. So I'm not necessarily anti-AI. If you are anti-AI, this isn't the episode for you. You can take your manual everything and keep doing that. That's totally fine. But for those of us who are wanting to integrate AI into our business, but do it in a really clever way, not in a way that's going to degrade our business, that's kind of who I want to speak to today. Because oftentimes you're not reaching for AI just because you're lazy, for example. You are probably literally quite overwhelmed. Graphics and making the graphics and the posts and things you need for your business feels like one extra thing that either, you don't have time for, you don't have the skills for, or you don't have the brain capacity to think through the parts you need to think through. Because I'm going to get to this, but there are different elements that you need to consider when designing a post. I actually think AI is doing it wrong to begin with. But also the output that it's giving you is also disconnecting you from your clients. So I'm going to speak to both of those things. I'm going to speak to the solution that I see and the process that I think you should go through to get this right. So make sure you hang around to the end, because I don't just want to say don't use AI for your graphics. What I want to share with you is a reasonable solution that you can try using for your business instead. And look, it's not going to be as easy as just asking ChatGPT for a flyer. I'm going to preface it with that. But I think the results that it gives you for your business will far outweigh the extra effort that it's going to take you. So let's first talk to the cost of using an AI graphic. Obviously, you've got if you have a ChatGPT description, there's the actual money cost of the output there. But I actually think the cost of using it is quite a lot. I'm going to speak to those now. And so I did two reels actually recently, and they were some of my most taking off reels that I've done in a very long time. I'll link them in the description if you want to have a look at them. But in essence, I was speaking to my first reel was just can you tell? I didn't know, as a graphic designer, I can spot an AI graphic from a mile away. My brain's like AI. Even if it's just a tiny bit of a photo or a tiny bit of text, I can usually spot it quite quickly. But what I didn't know was, can the everyday person spot it quickly? Can just Joe Blow on the street or a random business owner or random whatever, can they spot it? And I still believe a lot of people can't spot it, but there was so many people on my reel commenting saying that they could spot it. And that surprised me, the amount of people that could spot it, not just graphic designers, not even just business owners, literally just everyday people could spot it. And I think it depends on your age, on the amount of time you spend online, on so many different factors. And so there are definitely people that can't spot it yet. And if that's literally all your target audience is, maybe you can get away with it for a little bit longer. But overwhelmingly what I found was that a lot of people could spot it. And if they could spot it, usually it did a bad thing for them and the business in that consumer's mind. And I want to share that with you now. Because what a lot of people said is if they can tell that a business has used AI in their graphics, they said phrases like, I won't even read the graphic, or I want to just ignore it, or even like they were saying that even if they had trusted the business before or they enjoyed the business, if they noticed them using AI graphics maybe more than once, they'd be like, not interested anymore. They would put that business down the bottom of the barrel of anything they would consider going to or doing. And I found that really interesting because obviously as a business owner, the reason we're creating this graphic is to get traction for our business. We're not just creating it to take up space, right? There is a purpose to why we're doing it. But if our audience is able to tell that we've used AI and they are not okay with that, which overwhelmingly a lot of people weren't, they were judging your business harshly because of that, deciding that they wouldn't work with you anymore, they wouldn't spend money there, or they wouldn't go to that place, or they wouldn't even go to that event, which I think is a shame. I think that's probably almost a little bit too much of an overstep, depending on what your values are, obviously. Like I can't tell people what their values and what they should do or what they should think. But from a practical perspective and a human perspective, I totally get why someone would use an AI thing. Like I went to a little town yesterday with my family, and on all of the shop doors was like a poster advertising a little family event that was happening on the weekend. And it was an AI poster, I could tell. And I didn't really want to go to it because of that. But I was also like, hold on, this event is still going to be great. My kids would still love this. And yes, we're still free on the weekend. I tried to take myself out of that and just really think this could just be a good event. Just because someone used AI because they didn't have the skills to do something otherwise doesn't mean I should judge that business. But that's not what everyone's doing. And I want to make sure that your business isn't suffering because of people making those judgments, right? And I think it's only going to get more and more prevalent. The more and more people that are discovering this as an option to create their flyers, the more prevalent these designs are going to become. And that was the next bit of feedback that I got from people when I started posing this and talking about this on social media, is people were saying that everything just looks same. Everything looks the same, every flyer, even if it's a different font or even if it's different colors or even if it's different pictures, there's still this same vibe to it, and it's getting so repetitive. And when people see things too much, they start to ignore it, right? Especially if it's not for something that they're interested in. And so there's this part, like I've been taking so many screenshots in the last few days of all these AI posters and all these flyers. And there was one that I saw that I was like, oh, hold on, I actually am really interested in that. But my brain, I remember I had seen this design over and over and over again previously, but I totally ignored it. Because I didn't think it was relevant for me because it was just some quick AI flyer. But when I looked closer, I was like, oh, hey, I'd actually really love to go to that. And so when you're using these AI flyers, people might be choosing to ignore you because they're not happy you're using AI. People might actually just be accidentally ignoring you because everything is looking same. Oftentimes there's some key tells, like just from my perspective, often the colors are a lot warmer than normal. There's every inch of white space has been filled up with something. There is far too much text on them most of the time, which is something I want to share with you soon. There are way too many visual icons representing everything, which often there's so many good things about it that I usually teach to someone, but it's taken all the good things about design and it's taken it too far, and it makes it the graphic no longer work as well. And yes, technically some of the time maybe the graphic that ChatGPT makes is something better than what you could maybe make, but I think when people start ignoring it, or when you get to turn off your brain so much that you're not actually putting yourself into it, I think humans want humans. I think humans want human mistakes, right? I think people want to see people doing people things, like making a design, making a graphic, even if that's just using a template on Canva. You're still the person writing the text and moving things around and adding your picture, and there's something about the human experience that people want to draw near to. And even if that isn't technically as good as a ChatGPT design, or even if you make a typo, people are still drawn to that. We want humans. And I think the more that this happens, the more we're actually going to push away from wanting to see this kind of content. And I don't want people pushing away your business at that same time. So now I want to speak to what to do instead. If you're thinking, okay, Jacqui, fine, you're probably right, I shouldn't be using ChatGPT for my graphics. But what on earth do I do instead? Because again, you're still not a graphic designer. You still don't have a ton of extra time. You're still feeling overwhelmed. So what are the steps that we need to take in order to get this to work practically for you? So I want to give you 3 steps now to do this properly. I'm going to call it the bot to brand method. All right. So we're taking from AI and we're actually starting to make it a strong brand, because that's what I see a lot of people missing, or they don't know how to then execute that brand. And again, I promise you at the start, this isn't going to make things like ding and done. What this is helping you create a long-lasting system for your business. And please remember that what I'm teaching you here, you can take this for years. Like, this isn't just a once and done, you have to do this for every single graphic. This is a system you can use for years that will actually save you a ton of time. So step number 1, I need you to know your visual brand. Okay. And it doesn't have to be wildly convoluted. It can be. And the more you push into this, the kind of more beautiful it could be. But start with something basic if you don't know it altogether yet. I want you to know 3 main things. What are your brand colors? What are your brand fonts? And what is your brand style? So colors, I want you choosing 2 to 6 more if you want to, colors that you can use in your business visuals. So all of your business graphics, they might not all use all of the colors, but they might be using, like, say if your brand was mine, you might have a purple, a bit of a green, maybe some blue and a peachy color and a black and a white, and be shades of those purples and greens, And so using those, that just means whenever I go to create a graphic, I know that I don't have to decide on what colors I'm using. I'm always using colors from within my color palette. And usually within that, I choose like main colors and then like accent colors. So for me, my main color is purple. So 90% of the time I'm using a purple color, if that makes sense. All right, so I want you to choose your colors. Then I want you to choose your brand fonts. Brand fonts is literally the fonts you're going to use for all of your graphics. And you only need 2 to 3 fonts. You don't need to find like a collection of 5 to 10 fonts that you love. It's literally 2 to 3 fonts. And the reason we do that is because fonts really communicate things subtly to people. And so if we choose the right fonts, they're going to be communicating the right thing to people. Same with colors. And then when you use those really consistently, you as your business have your own recognizable brand. It's not this same kind of style like that. ChatGPT just has the same fonts over and over and over again. It's got this kind of blocky, tall, kind of sans serif font, and then it's got this kind of brushy, scripty font, whether it's in all caps or whether it's lowercase. It's always the same. That is another reason why they always blend in together. And so for you and your brand and your business, you are choosing 2 to 3 fonts. You can choose free Canva fonts. I don't care, but then you use those consistently, and it helps to set you apart from your competition and from the rest of the world and from all these AI graphics. Then number 3 is you need a style. This is where a lot of people struggle, and it is a little bit harder, but just as a general rule of thumb, like, are you having a really light and flowy kind of graphic style, or are you having a really dark and grungy graphic style? Are you having a collagey, papery kind of style for your business that kind of feels really fun and relaxed, or are you having like cute little elements and doodles in your graphic style? Like, kind of choose that style, because again, that's going to help your audience to recognize you. It's going to help to convey a particular feeling about your brand and your business and attract the right people to you. What a lot of people are doing at this point is they're just outsourcing all of the aesthetic to ChatGPT, and they're just like, whatever it spits out, they're like, wow, that's amazing, because you didn't have to do it. Of course it feels amazing, but it's not actually going to do your business a lot of good in the long term. And like, you can use ChatGPT to help you to craft these things if you want to. I have a full DIY Design My Biz course where I take people through how to strategically choose their branding and their colors and their fonts and their style. And I highly recommend that. But even just as an intermediate time, and I actually teach this in the course too if you want to, on how to use AI to speed up this process, because you could use AI to help you to think of your brand colors. You could use AI to help you choose some fonts, although it's definitely hit and miss there. It's definitely hit and miss on the colors as well. There are some things you need to know and some things you should do well for that. Same with style, but you can use it to help brainstorm with, to act as a brainstorm partner if you don't have someone that you can ask. If you are inside my course, feel free to ask inside our group or on a live call with me, because then you have a real person who's qualified at design to actually help you. But yeah, I digress. So that's step 1, is choosing your brand visual feel, like your fonts, your colors, your style. Okay. The next step is clarity. And this is where I think the ChatGPT flies, people are finding them really helpful, is you don't have to put in every single tiny detail and lay it all out on a graphic for your business. You just have to give like all the information to ChatGPT, and it does all of that for you. It works out what's important, it works out what needs to be on the graphic, and it kind of spits all that out for you. Firstly, ChatGPT is often doing this the wrong way. It's putting way too much text on a graphic. I want to challenge you. When was the last time you actually looked at an AI flyer and you read everything on it? You probably didn't, okay? And we don't always need to read everything on every single graphic. That's not always the point. Sometimes we have more information for people that need more information. But sometimes there's just too much text. And when there's too much text, us as humans decide, oh, that looks like too much work, and we move on. Okay? Or we just read the headline and we don't actually get the main point. And so when you're designing your graphics, firstly, I want you to use less text than ChatGPT has been doing. So think more nuanced around, like, can I put text into the caption? Can I put text somewhere else? Can I share this over multiple different graphics? Do people actually really need to know that part? And sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. There are different solutions for different purposes and reasons and platforms. But in general, ChatGPT is asking you to do too much text. But what I do need you to do is get clarity. And so if you are finding this hard, if you are finding it tricky to get the right amount of clarity for your graphic, of knowing what to put on the graphic and then how to actually lay out that graphic, you could still ask ChatGPT for help here. You could like word vomit everything you're thinking about for your event or for your course or for your podcast or whatever it is, and say, can you please lay this out in a way that I can go and design this? You might say, can you give me the heading and the tagline and any sub information or a call to action that I need to add into this graphic? But please give it the nuance. Please give it like a little extra prompt, a little extra sentence of context on the end of that, and say, please do as less text as as possible while still communicating what I'm about. We don't want to just say stuff. ChatGPT is like, oh, when you could add this and this and this and this and this. No, it's too much. And not only are people not going to read that, it makes it overwhelming for you to design with. Okay. So that second step is to get clarity. You can do this with your own brain. I don't usually use AI for this step, but I wanted to give you that option that if you do need help, just ask ChatGPT to lay it out and give you title, and you can copy and paste a title into Canva, or subtitle, and you can copy and paste that into your Canva. And then once you do this a few times, honestly, you're going to grow that muscle of understanding and learning, okay, I need to put this here and this here and this here. And that's how I can actually summarize that whole giant sentence or thought that I was having into one sentence. Like, you get better at this stuff. It's a muscle, okay? But what you need to do before you start designing any graphic is have the clarity of what on earth is going to be on it. So sit down and do that, whether it's using ChatGPT to help you or just outlining it yourself. Get that clarity, because if you start designing without it, you're going to feel really muddy and murky about what you need to do, and it's going to feel overwhelming, and you're going to give up, okay? And you're going to just go to use ChatGPT for the flyer again. All right, so that was step number 2. Step number 3 is to build for yourself a set of reusable templates. But Jacqui, why would I reuse things when you're saying all the ChatGPT graphics look the same to the people just tuning out? It's different, okay? It's good for a business and one business to use the same designs on the regular. It helps people to begin to recognize you as opposed to everything else that they're seeing online. So it's actually quite fine for you to use the same maybe 3 to 10 different templates for your business, for your social media over and over again. If you go to my Instagram page, you will see the repetition of templates, okay? And we want to change things up a little bit, maybe changing out the photos or changing out the layout, and obviously we're changing out the text. But once you have those templates sorted, I cannot tell you how much faster it is for you to design these things. Because pretty much like when I'm designing a new graphic, all I'm doing is I'm looking at past designs that I've done, past templates that I've used, and because I've got the clarity of the content I'm going to share, I just think, that kind of design will probably suit the layout that I'm thinking for what I want to share today. And all I do is I duplicate it, I copy and paste my text in, and swap out a new photo. And when you've made these templates, well, like you've added in that style that we built in that first step of like your collage style, you've added that collage style into that graphic, it looks on brand, it looks beautiful. All you need to do is add in your text and you're kind of done. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to start a graphic from scratch all the time. I've spoken about this a lot in recent podcast episodes in saving time, but it's so true. And you can even use Canva templates that other people have made. But what you're doing is, because you know your brand style, you can customize that to look unique, to look like your own, not to look like everyone else, which is what we're trying to avoid. And look, you're not going to become the perfect designer overnight, but what you will become to your audience is a human, and people connect with humans. Like, there's a new, I won't say what it is, thing for kids in our area, and every single one of their graphics is AI. Their whole website, their logo, all of their flyers, all of their videos, it just doesn't feel real. I know it's a real place. They've given me an address, but part of it doesn't feel real, and part of me doesn't really want to go there. And I don't want that to happen to your business. I don't want people to be having, like, people are always looking for reasons not to buy something. They're looking for reasons not to trust a business. Don't give them more reasons. Okay, and I think this can be a really good way to differentiate yourself. And like, once you do making your brand step, and once you make some templates, that's a once and done kind of thing. All you need to do is do step 2 over and over again and just get clarity on what you want to say on that particular next graphic, swap in your text on your graphic and post it. And it's going to feel so much better. You're going to feel so much more proud because it's your kind of thing, and your audience is going to start connecting with you a whole lot more. And if you sit down to design and you're realizing that the designs still aren't looking professional, or you really just don't know how to build your brand out, or you just don't understand how you can take a Canva template and really make it your own, I have a free masterclass you might want to watch. It's called Design Tools to Get to 100K, and in there, I'm going to share with you some design mistakes that are probably making your designs look amateur. I'm going to do a live Canva demonstration with you so you can see how I take a template and make it unique. I'm going to share with you Canva shortcuts to make that process a lot quicker without having to resort to ChatGPT. And I'm going to share with you my trademark system for building out a really strong brand and the questions you need to ask yourself to do that. So I hope that will be really helpful for you as this next step from, I don't think I want to use AI, at least for all my graphics now. What do I need next? Watch this masterclass. It's totally free. You've got nothing to lose. There's a ton of value in there. And I hope that it inspires you. I hope that it gives you a little flair to be like, you know what, I can do this, because it's possible. I've seen hundreds, and I've helped hundreds of thousands of business owners create their own incredible brand and graphics without having to resort to ChatGPT. So give that some food for thought. Start to pay attention to how you're perceiving ChatGPT graphics, and start perceiving how your audience is perceiving it. Like, maybe you're fine. Maybe this is not an issue for your business, but also maybe it is, and you're not noticing the people that are just scrolling past, or you're not noticing the people that are saying, you know what, I don't feel like working with them now that they've used create all these AI graphics. Don't be that person who loses business because you didn't have the confidence to be able to create incredible graphics for yourself and take that ownership. So I want to cheer you on. I want you to feel inspired, and I want you to feel like this is possible for you, because it totally is. Sometimes we just need to insert the right steps first to make it possible. We need to set ourselves up for success. So make sure you join me for that masterclass if you haven't yet watched. Let me know in the comments if you're watching on YouTube, or message me on Instagram what your thoughts are about AI graphics and if there's anything you would add to this conversation. All right, talk to you next time. Bye.